Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to discuss the topic on computer architecture subject. So, in last two videos, we have discussed about the first unit, the basic functional units, basic operational concepts, addressing modes, instruction set architecture. So, all those things are discussed in the last two videos. Now, we are going to discuss about the second unit called arithmetic operations. Today, we are going to cover the topics of signed and unsigned numbers, addition, subtraction, full headers, carry lookup headers. So, all these things are going to discuss. Myself, R. Punita Gauri, Assistant Professor of Computer Science and Engineering Department, Eros Engineering College, Perumalai, Eros. So, what is signed number and unsigned number? So basically, all the numbers are treated as both positive and negative numbers. So if the number is treated in a positive number means that numbers are called unsigned numbers. So there is no sign, plus sign or minus sign. So there is no sign. All those numbers comes under the category called unsigned numbers. If we have to present a number in plus number, minus number, positive number, negative number means that numbers will come under the category called signed number. So in signed numbers, we can represent both positive number and negative numbers. Basically, a processor can handle only binary numbers. So all the numbers, all the operations should be carried on only the binary numbers, zeros and ones. So how we are going to represent a signed number? So what are the way to represent a positive number and negative number? How the computer can identify the given binary number is a positive one or negative one? So all these things going to discuss now. First thing, uh, in order to represent a binary number, signed number, we are using a special bit called as sign bit. So in sign bit, if the sign bit is 0, the number is positive. The sign bit is 1, then the number is negative. So in order to implement the signed numbers, we are using the three methods: signed magnitude, ones complement, and two's complement. These are all the three methods to implement and represent the signed numbers. Okay, in these three methods, the sign bit is common, and the sign bit, if the sign bit is 0, then the number is positive. The sign bit is 1, then the number is negative. So this is common for all the three methodologies. Okay. So first we are going to discuss about what is signed magnitude method, how the negative number can be represented in a signed magnitude number. In the signed magnitude, the leftmost bit is considered as a sign bit, and if it is 0, then the number is called as a positive number. If the number is 0, I mean the leftmost bit is 1, then we can say it is a negative number. So this is the way how the signed magnitude number can be represented. So what is the disadvantage in using signed magnitude means, if it is a 4-bit representation, the first which means the leftmost bit is considered as a signed bit, since we are having only remaining 3 bits to represent the number. So, normally a 4-bit number, a 4-bit binary number can use it to represent 16 decimal values from 0 to 15. So, 15 decimal values can be represented using 4-bit binary number. But in signed magnitude method, a 4-bit binary number can only represent 15, which means minus 7 to plus 7. And uh, so, so this is the lack of number representation. So signed magnitude is not a better one. We have to choose the next level. Okay. So in signed magnitude number, there are two problems. Why means, here look at here. So this is the positive 0. So this represents 0, 0, 0, 0. So this 0, 0, 0, 0 represents the, excuse me. So this 0, 0, 0, 0 represents the positive 0, and this 1, 0, 0, 0 represents the negative 0. So the 0 is not a positive one or negative one. So we cannot write, we should not write plus 0 or minus 0. So 0 is not a positive and not a negative number. So, but in a sign magnitude method, there is a true representation for zeros and ones. So this is not a good way. So we have to choose the better one. So we go for an ones complement method. So this is the alternative approach to signed magnitude, and it is the ones complement where the first bit is again a sign bit. So here also we are using the first bit, which means the leftmost bit is considered as a sign bit. But negative numbers are stored differently from the positive numbers. So how we are going to represent a negative number means we have to do the invert operations, which means all zeros represents ones and ones becomes zeros. So in this way a negative number can be represented. Look at here, this is the example. So here I am going to represent plus 19 minus 19 using the ones complement method. So plus 19 can be represented in 6-bit representation 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1. So this is the equivalent binary number for plus 19. So if it is for minus 19 means what we have to do is that this plus 19 binary representation is inverted, which means in this all zeros are converted as ones, all ones are converted as zeros, which means 1 0 1 1 0 0. So this thing represents the negative, which means minus 19. So the first bit is not only the sign bit, but also it can be part of the number representation also. So here also we are facing the same problem. There's two ways to represent zero. So all zeros represents the zero, all ones represents the negative zero. So that ones complement method is not a good one to represent the binary number. So we have to upgrade to the next method called two's complement method. So in two's complement method, what we have to do is first we have to invert the positive number into negative number by making all zeros into ones and ones into zeros. After converting this, we have to add one at the last. We have to add one at the last so that we can get the two's complement, which means for a positive number we have to find the equivalent binary number and do the ones complement. Ones complement means making zeros to ones and ones to zeros. And after making the converting into a ones complement method, we have to add one at the last bit plus one. We have to add plus one so that we can get the two's complement method. So this is the method for two's complement. Now look at here. So plus 19 minus 19. So as usual, we have seen that plus 19, the equivalent binary value is 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1. And for minus 19, in order to represent in a ones complement, we have to make it zeros as ones and ones as zero. So 1, 0, 1, 1, 0. So this thing 1, 0, 1, 1, 0 we will get. And after doing this, after making it as ones complement, then we have to add 0 at the last. We have to add 0 at the last, which means, so here, look at here, 1 0 1 1 0. So we have to add plus 1, then we will get this value 1 0 1 1 0. So we will get 1 0 double 1 double 0 double 1 double 0. So we will get this value. So this is the method for using representing negative number in two's complement way. So this is the 4-bit binary number for the equivalent decimal values using the two's complement number. So look at here, we can start from 0 0, so that is easy for us. So this is for 0 and this is for 1 2 3 up to 7. So this thing is common for all the numbers. So from 0 0 0 0 to 0 0 1 1, which means from 0 to 7, the binary representation is common for all the three representations, which means signed, ones complement, two's complement. So this part is common for everything, but this thing will change for each and every methodology. Signed magnitude, this is different, and for uh, one's complement is different, and this for two's complement is also different. Okay, so here, so 1 0 0 0 0. So this is for representing minus 8. 1 0 0 1, this is for representing minus 7. 1 0 1 0 for minus 6. 1 0 1 1 for minus 5. 1 1 0 0 for minus 4. 1 1 0 1 for minus 3. 1 1 1 0 for minus 2. All ones for minus 1. So this is the way for representing two's complement. Okay. So here are some of the examples for binary representation. So look at here, 83. So 83 is can be represented by using binary numbers. We can use the L division method also. We all know about the L division. Using that L division, we can convert the decimal number into an equivalent binary number. So this is the equivalent binary number for representing 83 plus 83. So in order to represent negative 83, which means minus 83, by using the signed magnitude, we have to make the last bit as 1, which means this bit. So this bit is make it as 1 in order to represent the negative number by signed magnitude method. And for using the ones complement method, ones complement means we have to convert all the zeros to ones and ones to zeros. So this is for representing minus 83 in ones complement method. So look at here, this is the method for representing minus 83 in two's complement, which means nothing but after converting into in ones complement, we have to add 1 at the last bit, which means plus 1. If we add plus 1 in the last bit, we will get this value. So this is what two's complement method. So among these three things, these three methods, the two's complement method is the best one. Since it is the most powerful, we are going to do all the addition, subtraction, multiplication operations by using the two's complement method only. Since it is the most powerful and the best method. Next thing is addition. So how the addition is performed on binary numbers. So look up here. So 0 plus 0. So 0 plus 0 is 0 and the carry is 1. So we have to add a 2-bit binary number and we will get the output as sum and carry. So sum is the addition of two values and carry is the carryover. Okay. So 0 plus 0, the sum is also 0 and carry is also 0. By adding 0 and 1, 0 plus 1, we will get sum as 1 and carry as 0 since there is no carry. 1 plus 0 means also same. 1, sum is 1 and carry is 0. And 1 plus 1 means 1 plus 1 equal to 1 0, which means 10. 1 plus 1 equal to 1 0. Look at here, 1 0, which means 2. 10. So here the sum is 0 and the carry is 1. So this is the rules for our truth table for doing addition operation on 2-bit values. So by adding two binary numbers, we will get a sum and the carry. So these are all the examples for addition. Here we are going to add 0 0 1 0 1 1 0 0. So 0 plus 0 0, 1 plus 0 1, 0 plus 1 1, 0 plus 1 1. So this is the result after doing the addition operation. In next thing, so 0 0 1 0 1 0 1 0. So these two numbers are added. 0 plus 0 0, 1 plus 1. So 1 plus 1 is 10, which means the sum is 0 and the carry is 1. So the carry will be given as an input to the next bit. So this is called carry out of bit 1 and carry into the bit 2. Okay, so the carry is given as an input to the next bit, so we have to add all these three numbers. 1 plus 0 plus 0, the answer is 1. So 0 plus 1, 1. So this is the way. And the next one is 0 1 1 0 and 1 1 1 0. So these with the binary numbers are added. 0 plus 0 0, 1 plus 1 0, carry 1, 1 1 1. When we are adding 1 plus 1, we will get 10, which means 1 0, and we have to add one more 1, so we will get the answer as 1 1. 1 1 means 1 sum as 1 and carry as also 1. So 1 1 is given as a carry to the next bit, and the sum is also 1. Okay, now 1 plus 1 is 10, which means the sum is 0 and the carry is 1. Now we are having the carry, so this is the carry over bit. The one is 1 represents the carry over bit. And the next one, subtraction. So this is the same way how we are going to do the operation. So how we are going to do the subtraction means, as normal, we subtract from right to left with the borrowed, now being 2 instead of 10 as we move from one column to the next, which means after which means this is the truth table for subtraction. 0 minus 0 subtraction, when two numbers, binary numbers A and B are subtracted, we will get the subtract value and borrow value. So these are all two outputs. So two inputs A and B, two outputs borrow and subtract. So 1 minus 0 minus 0, subtract value is 0 and borrow value is also 0. 0 minus 1. So uh, we cannot subtract 1 from 0. Okay, so 0 minus 1 is not possible. So subtraction 0, we have to borrow 1 so that we can subtract the value. So 1 minus 0 is subtraction 0, borrow 0. Subtraction 1, borrow 1, borrow 0. 1 minus 1 is both zeros. Okay. So look at here, we will discuss some examples, then you will understand. So 0 minus 0 is 0. So from 0 we cannot do minus 1. So we have to get borrow from the neighbor bit. So here we are having 1. So this 1 is given as a borrow to the this 0. Then this will become zeros. So this bit becomes zeros. Now this will act as a 10. So from 10 we are going to subtract 1. So 10 10 minus 1 is 1, and he now this one is given as a borrow to the neighbor bit, so it will become 0. So 0 minus 0 0, 1 minus 1 0. So this is the answer. Okay. So this is the way how the subtraction can be performed. So what is overflow means? For unsigned number, a carry out of the leftmost bit is also an overflow. So for unsigned, that is no positive or negative numbers, the leftmost bit is also a overflow. And in 2's complement addition and subtraction, how the overflow is determined means, if the two numbers have the same sign bit and the sum or difference has a different sign bit, then we can conclude that there is an overflow. This is the condition for checking the overflow in 2's complement method. Okay. Next, we are going to discuss about the full adders. Full adders means, here we are having three, we will take three inputs, which means, look at here. So, xi, yi. So, these are all the two bits getting as an input to the full adder, and also the ci, which is the ci is the carry out from the neighbor bit and it is given as an input to the current bit. Okay, so this is the carry over from ci minus 1. carry over from Ci minus 1, which is given as an input to the Ci. Okay. And we will get two outputs, Si and Ci plus 1. So these are all the two outputs. This Ci plus 1 is given as an input to the neighbor full adder. So this is the concept here. Look at here. So these are all the three inputs A, B, C. Here C is a carry in. So here we are having two outputs, sum and carry. So 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So when we are adding 0 plus 1, we will get sum as 1 and carry as 0. And when we are adding 0, 1, 0, so sum as 1 and carry as 0. And 0, 1, 1. So B and C having 1, 1 means the sum is 0, carry is 1. 1, 0, 0 means sum is 1, carry is 0. 1, 0, 1 means sum is 0, carry means 1. Here we are having two ones. Two ones means 10. 10 means sum 0 and carry over 1. So here also we are having 1, 1, 0. 1, 1, 0 means two ones. So sum 0, carry 1. And last one 1, 1, 1. So since all three bits are 1 means sum is also 1, carry is also 1. So this is the way how full adder performs. So this will take three inputs and produce two outputs. Okay, so this is the logical diagram for the full adder. So here we are having xi, yi, ci. After doing the XOR operation, we will get the sum. Okay, after doing the XOR operation, we will get the sum value. And in order to get the ci plus 1, which is carry in value, we have to make yi, ci as 100 and xi, ci as 100 and xi, yi also 100. So all these 100 outputs are given as input to the OR operation, then we will get the Ci plus 1 value. So this is the way how the logical diagram is used. And this is the logical expression for sum A XOR B XOR Ci minus 1. So this is what we have done in the logical diagram. So this is Si equal to Xi XOR of Yi XOR of Ci, and in order to get the value of Ci plus 1, we have to do Ci into Yi plus Xi into Ci plus Xi into Yi. So this is what here we represent. After doing the simplification, we will get AB plus A XOR of B into Cin. So this is the value logical expression for the full adder. And in full adder, the every bit, so we have to do the operation by bit. We can do the we cannot do the parallel operation in full adder, since the carry in bit C in bit is get only when the previous C in value is calculated. So this operation can be done only by bit level. We cannot do the parallel operation. So in order to do the parallel bit addition, we are using the another full adder concept called carry look ahead adder. So carry look ahead adder solves the carry delay problems and by calculating the carry signals in advance based on the input signals. So what will be the carry for the current bit is calculated by using the carry signals and based on the input signals. So when both, so it is based on the fact that a carry signal will be generated in two cases: when both bits AI and BI are 1, or when one of the two bits is 1, then the carry in is 1. So how we are going to guessing the carry signal means by considering these two cases. So how the carry look ahead adder will act as, this is the carry look ahead adder logic. So here each bit is added by using the full adder. So this is one full adder, this is one full adder, this is one full adder, this is the full adder. So this is the 4-bit full adder. So x0 and y0 is given as an input to the bit 0, and x1 y1 as input given as input to the b1, and x2 y2 and x3 y3 like this way. So in this, here we are generating three values: p0, g0, s0. So here s0 is the sum value and p0 and g0 are some intermediate values by using this P naught and G naught, we are going to calculate the value of C1. Okay, so this is the way how we are going to calculate the C1. So this is the general formula. Ci plus 1 equal to xi yi plus xi ci plus yi ci. So after this we will get the general concluded value as gi plus pi into ci. So this is how we are going to calculate the ci plus 1, which is the carry input for the next bit. Okay, so this is how the carry look ahead logics are added. So by using the carry look ahead logics, we can reduce the logical gate delays. We can reduce the gate delays so that the addition operation can be performed higher faster than the full ladder. So if the Gi equal to 1, the ith bit generates a carry Ci plus 1 equal to 1. If Pi equal to 1, the ith bit propagates a carry Ci from I minus 1th bit to I plus 1th bit Ci plus 1. So both the Gi and Pi can be generated for all the n bits in a constant time 1 gate delay. So here the gate delay is only 1 gate delay. If we use the full adder, for every bit operation we will get 1 gate delay. So the gate delay is based on the number of bits. Okay, in full adder. So if the number of bits is high, then we will get more gate delays in the full adder. But in case of carry look ahead adders, so it is common only 1 gate delay. Only 1 gate delay for any number of bits. So if we are using a 4-bit representation or 16-bit representation or 32-bit addition, whatever it may be, so the number of bit is not a matter. It will calculate the carry in Ci plus 1 value in only 1 gate delay. So this is the main advantage for using the carry look ahead adders. So that's all about the unit. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you.